Hey, welcome to TWIRx, February 27th, 2026. Welcome to TWIRx. This is Todd, the RX Podfather. And we're going to be jumping into the Pharmacy Profit Summit 2026 with Dr. Lisa Faast. And let's talk about Rare Disease Day 2026, which is tomorrow on the 28th. We're going to go through two different subjects, one much more tied into pharmacy owners building their businesses, whether that's independent community, retail chain that you're building. There's these regional chains out there that are growing. This is a great conference. DiversifyRx put together the Pharmacy Profit Summit in 2026. Excited to be going back. Was there for the very, very first one. But we have a great interview with Richard Ferris with PantherRx. We're going to be bringing him on. Really some amazing insights into what patients think about their pharmacy services. So you're not going to want to miss that. And there's a lot going on. I don't know what next conference you're going to, the APHA 2026. If you're going to the Pharmacy Profit Summit in Dallas, please let me know. Let me know if there's an opportunity to connect with you. A shout out to Outcomes. We have a series that we're working on with Outcomes. So be on the look for that. Excited about that series and getting into how AI is going to impact pharmacy. It's going to be incredible. And there's going to be so much opportunity created that way. So up next for TWIRx News, I tell you what, it's a great week in news. Absolute great week in what's happening with PBM reform. Take a listen.
And now for TWIRx News. First up, FDA proposes new pathway for rare and customized therapies. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration has unveiled a proposed regulatory framework designed to accelerate approval of customized drugs and therapies for rare and hard-to-treat diseases. Traditional drug approval pathways are often too rigid for ultra-rare conditions or bespoke treatments, especially those developed for only a handful of patients. The new guidance would allow therapies, including gene editing approaches like CRISPR, to demonstrate a plausible mechanism of action and be considered for approval with smaller clinical datasets. The proposal aims to foster innovation while preserving safety standards, and the FDA will accept public comments on the draft for 60 days before finalization. This could be a major shift in how rare disease therapies move from concept to patient access.
Well, here we go again. With the federal government looking into vertical integration of health insurers and PBMs and the impact on public health, here's more bad news. Cigna acquires a pharmacy business serving nearly 10% of U.S. hospitals. In a move signaling ongoing vertical integration in healthcare, Cigna has acquired PantherRx, a major pharmacy that supplies prescription drugs to nearly 10% of U.S. hospitals. This acquisition strengthens Cigna's control of drug distribution channels and reflects broader industry trends where insurers, health systems, and PBMs expand their footprint into pharmacy operations. This isn't good news for community pharmacies. For our much-needed independent pharmacy owners, this underscores competitive pressures and the importance of differentiating through clinical services, patient care coordination, and specialty pharmacy expertise.
Here's some better news. Did you hear that PBM reform is moving forward with federal actions and transparency rules put into place? Significant federal activity around PBM reform continued this week in pharmacy. The 2026 Consolidated Appropriations Act has enacted new requirements to reshape how pharmacy benefit managers operate, especially around transparency and rebate pass-through. In addition, the U.S. Department of Labor proposed rules to increase visibility into PBM compensation for employer plans, and the Federal Trade Commission has settled with Express Scripts to change aspects of its PBM services by early 2027. We have been waiting a long time for this. These independent actions together represent some of the most meaningful federal movement on PBM policy in years, potentially affecting pharmacy economics, formulary placement, and overall drug cost flows. Wherever you listen to your podcasts, be sure to search for the PBM Reform Podcast, covering the latest news on PBM reform since 2019. Thank you to Greg Reibold and the APCI team for supporting the PBM Reform Podcast.
Feature interview here on This Week in Pharmacy. It is Friday. I need it to be Friday. Dr. Lisa Faast, how are you?
I am fantastic. I am excited that it's Friday as well.
How was your week? Is it a good week?
It's a good week. It's busy. I moved last weekend, so it's work during the day and unpacking at night. But it's been a fantastic week.
On top of it being tax season, on top of it being
Don't remind me.
on top of it being Pharmacy Profit Summit preparation, like this is you get blown out of a cannon in January and you're going full tilt until the end of March.
Yeah. It is definitely, summit prep. A lot of people think, because I might be biased, but our show is pretty awesome. It's big. It's grown every year. This year is going to be our biggest yet. We purposely moved to a new property so it can grow. And people think I have like a conference team or a summit team or, production team, but no, it's just us. It's me and mostly Heather that like put this entire thing together. And so, it's summit time. That is a definite phase of life for me. And that's it for the next 4 weeks.
So there's a special episode of the PharmRx podcast that's going to be coming out. An amazing conversation with Lisa, and we kind of dug into AI, and that's like the buzzword. And I say tech because I'm an old school Gen Xer, but when I think of AI and I think of some of the things that you've set up, and much of this is going to be discussed at the event. And for people that really want to know, how do I apply AI to very specific segments of my pharmacy business, your DiversifyRx team, you guys know about building custom AI employees, operational efficiencies, data-driven decision-making, strategic partnerships. Like, it's all stuff that I know based on how long I've known you, Lisa, and you test everything on yourself first. This is cool stuff. I'm excited.
Man, the AI world has opened up so many possibilities for us to kind of help ourselves. If we wanted any sort of technologically advancement, even just several years ago, you had to know a developer, you had to have lots of money, there was this barrier to entry, if you will. Nowadays, my team, I have full-time AI and automation people. We're whipping up apps for our members in a matter of a day or two. The app is kind of done within really 30 to 60 minutes. And then it's, the fine tuning, but it's amazing what you can do with technology. And so I'm all about practicality. AI is a buzzword, but you should be using it. And to your point, technology in general, right? AI is a part of tech, but there's a lot of tech that's not AI. Everything from automations from your PMS system to full-on AI. A pharmacy should be using everything it's disposable. It is too cutthroat to try to have a human solve every single problem in your business. And so there's just not enough meat on the bone for that. And so you have to leverage technology. Chat GPT or Gemini, whatever, $20 a month. I promise you, if you just follow my AI roadmap and just do the basics, you're gonna 1,000x that $20 investment into AI. And so at the summit in particular, I would say probably about half of our speakers, there's this AI layover component. Some are very AI, and you're going to be like, some it's just a little bit more of like, here's how you help you, and here's how you be more efficient. And then of course there's soft skills and other things too. But man, technology opens the door to more time to be able to go do the other stuff that only your humans do. I'm not about eliminating or replacing humans with technology. It's about freeing your humans to go do the thing that only humans can do.
Yeah, you and I talked a little bit about blowing your techs up and being able to make them super soldiers and taking what they're already doing, because we're breaking out what techs may do: inventory specialists, customer service, marketing, whatever it is. But oh my goodness, your techs now become threefold.
Absolutely. If you take, so looking at this both in my own pharmacies and from the outside, watching many of our members go through and implement various things of AI, from AI bots doing data entry, like with TJN Labs, to AI analytics, like with Ugo, to just AI and chatty and it creating your SOPs for you. All of a sudden, your technicians have more time. We have a member who did a grant program because now they had a time for a technician to apply it and do it. And that was worth about $10,000 in profit a month. They're doing, the therapy optimization or the copay optimization for their patients. They're doing RPM and CCM calls and completing those billing minutes and all these kinds of things now that they're able to do because the technicians' times are freed up from the things that AI can do, right? And so it's not about elimination. It's not about robots taking our jobs. It's about using a tool, just like you drive a car, right? You could walk to work, but you don't. I bet you drive, right? It's the same thing. It's a tool. It's a tool of efficiency. It's a tool to make you more productive. And so, and if you're not using it, you really are putting your pharmacy in jeopardy of, kind of being left behind. Not all AI and technology is fun. I was telling you earlier about the story of Facebook this week, since this is This Week in Pharmacy. I don't know about you guys, but I have been inundated with messages from both my members and non-members about Facebook because Facebook implemented this new AI and it's going back and reviewing posts for at least 3 years. I think there's some posts depending on the type that's even before that. And so all these posts are getting flagged and they're like, oh my gosh, my account is at risk and the post got taken down. And I even experienced this myself. And so, I have the Pharmacy Profit Summit coming up. I can't run ads because my account was flagged from a educational tirzepatide shortage post that I did like 3 years ago or whatever it was. And, I've appealed it and stuff. And so technology is it's a double-edged sword. There's a good side and there's a bad side. But if you're not using it to save time, save money, duplicate yourself, duplicate your technicians, you're gonna get left behind. It's a cutthroat industry. We all know that there's changes every week, right? That's why you have This Week in Pharmacy. There are changes all the time. And so we have to become more efficient machines. And one of the best way to do that is by leveraging technology.
Absolutely. Amen. Hey, let's shift a gear and share with the listeners some of these speakers. The guy that I'm most excited about listening to, well, I'm excited about actually, to tell you the truth, 4 of them specifically that I'm really into, but Bradley James Davies, he's known as the listener, author and listener.
He is a professional listener. Where you're like, that's an odd thing to be. And Bradley James Davies is amazing. I guarantee for anybody at the summit, they're going to leave with like Bradley being their new favorite person on the planet. Every time I talk to him, I glean so information. So what he does is he teaches you to listen, and hearing is not listening, right? Like those two are not the same skill set. We're all, most of us innately, like we're able to hear, but we don't know how to listen. We don't know how to do that. And so his phraseology is listening is the one thing that will change everything. Mm-hmm. And so once you learn how to listen and you become a better listener, you have a better opportunity for profit. You're going to have better relationships. You're going to have, whether it's romantic relationships, platonic relationships, family relationships. I literally will change your life by becoming a better listener. And so, yeah, he is. His session is going to be fun. He's a fun dude. You're going to love him. You will learn a lot, and you'll actually leave with the skills. You will be a better listener when you leave his summit or his session. So, yeah, I'm so excited for Bradley.
I am too. I think I have a lot to learn. I've become better communicator with my kids based on questions that I ask them instead of kind of like the standard, so how was your day? And then really digging into maybe more specifics and then listening so that I can use that information for follow-up discussion. And so I'm interested in that one too. I'm also interested in Jonathan Adley. We've had Jonathan on to really dig down into some of the philosophical side of artificial intelligence and how this will really help to enhance humanity if used in the right way. I think there's always that good and bad, and we're always talking about pharmacy techs. I can't wait to hear from Mike Johnston and who else is sticking out, because I want Mike to dial into some of this of what we're talking about with AI and and technicians and taking it to the next level. But is there anyone else that you want to shout out?
Well, yeah. So Mike in particular, he's been at several of our summits. Technicians are obviously critical to our businesses, right? Like we couldn't do what we do without technicians. And so he is the representative from technician. He's owned a pharmacy, pharmacy technician when he owned his pharmacy. And so he obviously has the unique perspective. His particular angle is going to be like hiring and like how to find, one of the biggest complaints for pharmacy owners is finding technicians, right? And finding good ones and then keeping them. And so his angle is going to be on that, but he layers in AI. We're actually in some of the same business mastermind groups. And so we talk AI, we talk technology all the time. We are always, he's a big user of AI. He does AI for translations. His technician trainings are translated into a bunch of different languages. So he's a great guy from that technician perspective of, how to do it, not just to hire technicians, but also how to function daily in the pharmacy, like with technology. All these people are, like I said, there's almost like an AI component to like so many of these people. Alex is a pharmacy owner. He's one of those people that created a software for like pharmacy inventory and analytics management. I really didn't get it. I remember when I first met him, he was telling me about it, and I was like, I wasn't quite getting. And then he showed it to me, and I was just like, oh, this is golden. We obviously got the tax guys. One big beautiful bill, OBBB. It went through whether you loved it or hate it, but it changed the tax code. It changed some of the things that you can do. So we're going to be telling them how to take advantage of your different entity structures. So many pharmacy owners have terrible entity structures for like tax and strategy management and stuff. So we're going to be specifically like talking about that. Of course, Ugo's my favorite analytics software out there. They've added an AI component to the data analytics that just makes their software. I mean, it was beautiful before, but now it's like, man, it's like chef's kiss, man. I can spend all day on Ugo and looking at things. And, so we bring in obviously pharmacy peeps, so we got lots of pharmacy owners. I got probably this year a little bit more from outside of pharmacy because I spent a lot of time last year at masterminds and at business meetings. And so I've got a lot of my friends coming in, Atiba, Mitch, Russell, people from outside our world. And Bradley, that's how I've met a lot of these people. That's why I go to these masterminds, because not only do I learn from awesome people, but then I like to bring them back to pharmacy. And so, because ultimately, no one will be a bigger fighter that pharmacy is a unique business. There is rarely you will find another kind of business that has the structure of competition and payments and those kinds of things that's in our world. And in the same breath, we're still a business. We function with the same business foundations. We need the same business skill set that any other entrepreneurs, small business people need. And so these are some of the best and brightest that I have. I paid over $300,000 last year in masterminds, and it's like, well, gee, Lisa, that's a ton of money. Man, this is why, because I bring these amazing people back into pharmacy. Atiba with his marketing and AI, we're getting ready. We're going to show a demo of it at the show, but we're going to get to roll out this entire, amazing platform of like marketing and like basically completely done for you. It is as done for you as done for you can get for pharmacy owners. And when I first saw it, I was like, slap the table. And I was like, this is it. Like, this is an absolute game changer. And so just these really smart people that understand fundamentals in business and are really, really successful at it. And then I layer on top of that, the pharmacy perspective. And so that's why I get so excited. So I love bringing my pharmacy owners on stage. We're going to have Scott King this year, kind of stepping in for Adam because Adam has a trip with his daughters, but Scott King is Adam's manager. So he's going to be talking about AI, how it changed his workflow. Because obviously Adam's all about workflow, and we've had him at several summits talking about and like sharing his journey on improving his workflow. And so Scott's going to be coming back and giving that case study. They implemented AI, they implemented bots, they implemented all these time efficiencies. And then here's what they did with it. And he's going to go through and show exactly what he did with it. And, not only made their workflow better, but made a whole boatload of profit as well. And so it's hard for me to have favorites because, they're like all my children. I love them all equally. But every single one, like seriously, I say this every year and somehow we keep doing it every year, but it's like, you can't afford to not be there. I understand there might be some extenuating circumstances like a wedding. Like, are they really going to notice you're not there? Maybe if you're in the wedding, but no, I'm joking. Like there's some things, some human needs, maybe why you won't be there, but if you don't have one of those pressing activities, there is no better place you can be and spend 2 days that's going to have such a lasting impact on your business than the 2-day Pharmacy Profit Summit. Because again, we're layering soft skills, we're layering technology and AI. I mean, it is going to fundamentally the people who are in the room, it's going to catapult their businesses in a very successful direction. It's just, I'm so excited.
That's awesome. That's great. So this is now at the Hilton Anatole.
Anatole, yep.
Anatole. And that's
Anatole, yep.
Bigger facility now?
Bigger facility, because we had it at the Omni for 3 years, and we sold out every year. We couldn't add any more, exhibitors or people. And the Omni was great. I love the Omni. I wish I could have just blown it up a little bit bigger. So we went over to the Hilton. Hilton has a much bigger space, so we're able to add people. We're able to add exhibitors. We're able to add some more fun, because this year our Western theme, we have a theme every year. If you haven't been familiar with the Pharmacy Profit Summit, just because we're in Dallas, it's not cowboy every year. This is actually this is our new theme. It's the Western. So we're going to have bull riding and roping and line dancing. We're going to have some fun. I like to have fun, obviously. And so, yes, we have a ton of space this year, which allowed us to grow and to be able to accommodate more pharmacy owners. So I'm excited. All
right. Reach out to Lisa and her team. Take a look at the pharmacyprofitsummit.com. Once again, that's pharmacyprofitsummit.com. So excited to see you, Lisa, and the team. Shout out to Heather, and can't wait to see you guys.
Yep. And reach out with any questions. You've got questions about AI, technology. There's probably not many people in pharmacy that have blended those two like I have. I'm here to support you. So any of your listeners, feel free to reach out. I'm happy to chat with you.
Please do. You're so open to that, and you give a lot of good advice quickly because of how busy you are and how fast your weeks go. Fast like
you'll get an answer from me. I'll do it real quick.
Hey, you were listening to Dr. Lisa Faast on This Week in Pharmacy. We'll be right back.
This episode is sponsored by Independent Pharmacy Cooperative, widely known as IPC. Established in 1983, IPC is the nation's largest group purchasing organization owned by independent pharmacy. With a mission of maximizing the success of community pharmacists, IPC works to provide members with access to effective programs and services designed to enhance profitability for independent pharmacy. Read more about our mission by checking out our website at ipcrx.com. That's ipcrx.com.
Hey there, welcome back to TWIRx. Not sure if you realize this. It's Friday. I hope you guys have plans for the weekend, but tomorrow, Saturday, February 28th, it's 2026. It's Rare Disease Day, and this is important to bring a lot more attention to what this means for patients, their families, their caregivers, the providers, the stress, the extra elevation of stress. We all go through stress, and we all go through good and bad things in our life, but to have something like that in your life, I like to bring attention to this. That's why I'm excited, and to have somebody from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania here too. Richard Ferris from PantherRx. It's good to see you on TWIRx.
Yeah, it's good to see you too, Todd. We really do appreciate this and the opportunity really to recognize rare diseases and how it really does impact these individuals and their caregivers, their families, and they're living with it every single day, and how we can help them.
Yeah, I'm very proud of Pittsburgh. Harry Travis and I argue, where was the start of specialty pharmacy? Was it in Orlando or was it in Pittsburgh? And I'm a Pittsburgher, you're a Pittsburgher. We remember Statlanders. So Harry and I agree that it started in Pittsburgh.
Yep. Harry and I talk very often as well. So we talk about all those things too. Great name to bring up, Pittsburgh.
Another reason I'm glad that you're here is I want to dive into something. So on This Week in Pharmacy, during this week, there was a report that came out, and it was through PantherRx, releases research on strengthening care coordination, and really what this means for us. And it's good time to do this because we're all preparing to get together soon. But can you dive into a little bit of this report's overview and tell our listeners what its overview, what it's about?
Yeah, so what this is really about is it gets the perspective of patients and caregivers. There was also prescribers and nurses as well as payers that were in it. But when we really look at the caregivers and the patients themselves, is that literally 90% of them are struggling in some way in terms of feeling that the care that they're receiving is inadequate. There's a lot of discussion out there in terms of how do we bring care to that person. But the healthcare system being fragmented as it is, we see just an overwhelming response from the patients and caregivers that they're not receiving the kind of care that they want. They're not receiving the communication that they want. Again, literally 3/4 of the patients out there would like to have better communication in the healthcare system and have some of these barriers removed from them. So there's just what it highlights is the fragmentation or the fragmented nature of our healthcare system, and that we need to do something different for people living with rare conditions.
That's special that you're dialing into that, and to kind of continue, there were some other statistics that I was reading through. There was in a segment in healthcare defined by cutting edge therapies, and 72% of patients are still asking for the fundamentals of support and services. And I've been in so many specialty pharmacies where I see the technician queuing up a call, the pharmacist is ready, they come on. This is back before telehealth, by the way. I'm showing my age. You probably have stories like that too. And now I would think that there is the care that they're getting. And from my perception, I thought that there was, but tell us about the data, the missteps and what's happening.
Yeah, I think it's partially certainly in pharmacy. Let's be candid. There are places within our pharmacy world, and I'm a pharmacist myself and a huge proponent of what our profession does. But the system doesn't reward some of the additional care and high touch services that these individuals want. A lot of these communication issues, though, are also beyond the pharmacy alone. It goes between the physician's office, the insurer, and the pharmacy. And I think that's what these individuals are feeling. They're feeling so disconnected, like these are three very different worlds that aren't necessarily talking to one another in a productive way that then is getting them the response that they need as quickly as they need it, so we can remove that access barrier and get them on therapy quickly.
So, I have had friends and family members who have given me their opinion of different types of pharmacies.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them told me about their specialty pharmacy, of what they were experiencing and how personalized they felt, because every time they got a call back, they didn't have to repeat a bunch of things. They just jumped right in. And it was a independently owned specialty pharmacy. It wasn't like one of the big ones. But I think with AI, I think with texting, I think with the expansion of the information from EHR systems, if you combine that with AI and you summarize and you put a human being on the phone that can summarize massive amounts of information to quickly communicate administrative things or suggestions, or are you nauseated? Have you thought about, drinking some ginger ale, or just something to personalize the care? That's why I'm not scared of AI. And that's why I'm, excited about the evolution. I think this report is extremely important. We're going to help to get it out. There's going to be a link in the show notes right to the press release over at the site. By the way, if you're listening, you're not watching us on YouTube right now. If you're just listening, just go to it's PantherRxRare.com. But once again, the link's going to be in the show notes. So wait till you get somewhere where you're not driving or walking the dog or something like that. But Super Bowl of Specialty Pharmacy, Richard, is coming up soon, and I know you're going. So talk to us about what you're excited about Access 26 this year.
Yeah, so the Assembia conference that we'll be heading out to here at the end of April, we've got a number of folks there. It gives us a great opportunity to really talk to manufacturers who have rare disease therapies that are in the pipeline and really looking for a different care model that can meet the needs of the patient where they're at, make sure that the important innovations that they're bringing to market actually get to the patient, and then that they're used in the right way. So we'll be out there. We'll have a booth. It's booth number 2020.
Nice.
So it actually is a nice, easy number there to remember. We'll be there. We'll have a number of our groups there. So look us up there. I'm also on LinkedIn, other social media platforms, but LinkedIn would obviously be a great way as well. We'd love to talk more about rare disease, what makes Panther rare, and what we're trying to do, again, to bridge these gaps that are out there so we really can meet these individuals where they're at and provide them with a much better service than what they're currently receiving in healthcare in general, much less in pharmacy.
Yeah. If you're headed out there, you get time to stop at our press booth. We'll have a number soon, so I'll put that out on social media. We'll make sure that we reach out to some of our people like Harry Travis, who we always welcome back to the show. Love working with him. But you have to hook up with us too. Make sure when you're out there, Richard, that we can catch up and talk something about innovation. I want to hear more about cell and gene. I want to hear more about digital therapeutics, and I want to hear. I'm a little bit of a nerd. I like that futuristic stuff.
That's okay. I'd love to too. I loved your discussion on AI and how we should think about using that. And we are here at Panther as well. So let's connect out there in Las Vegas.
All right. You heard it here. Richard and the PantherRx team will be at Access 26, AXS 26, Access to Pharmacy. We'll be there. It's so good to talk with you. Go Steelers. Even though it's all over, we have to rebuild. So go Steelers.
Well, let's hope the Penguins get going and can pick it up a little bit, and then go Pirates. You never know. We got to have hope, right?
That's right. All right. It was good talking.
Right. Thanks, Todd. Appreciate it.